following is a presentation of the Trojan Sports Network. Joined by Taylor baseball head coach Kyle Gould before their second game of the Crossroads League Tournament. You take on Huntington here this afternoon. They played a marathon game late that Justin Barber was observing here late. Thoughts on Justin Barber overall, first of all?
He does a great job. Pitchers are getting they get a lot better. You could see that yesterday with the year Jake Boyer's had, and the development he's had is a great example of that. There's a whole bunch of them, but Gable and Matt, all those guys, he does a great job with them, and they get better from the moment they get here.
He's also helping off from the administrative side, setting up. There's a lot of setting up and taking out trash. He also seems to have that also very good skill as well as a trash taker outer.
He does okay.
Let's talk about the game yesterday. Obviously, offense took a while to get going, then you kicked the door down with that 4-run frame. How do you try to get out to a quicker start, something that's going to kind of held you back in a couple games here late into the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, the guy we're seeing on the mound is as good as anybody in the league. I think he might be the only guy who shut us out this year. And for Huntington, it's a really, really good test for us. Good velocity, good breaking ball, and really commands the ball well to his glove side, and has a good changeup to lefties. He's a really, really good test. He's his, top pitcher in the league, one of the top pitchers in the league. So it'll be a real challenge for us. But I think, with a guy like this, you got to try to somehow get the pitch count up, which is hard because he throws so many strikes. But we got to get some guys on base, and then you're looking for 2 to 3 big innings, 1 to 3 big innings. You're probably not going to get tick an inning at a run every inning. You got to get a couple guys on base. Somebody's got to put a big swing on the ball, and I think that's your best shot against a starting pitcher like this guy.
You guys split with them, only one of 2 teams you split with the entire league season. What can you take away from that game, over a month ago?
Well, I think the first takeaway is he's really good, and in that game, I think Nick was throwing a no-hitter through 5. It's the same 2 pitchers, and we just kind of cracked first. They got a good swing off after we made a mistake, and won the game. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think Huntington's really good. They're always good on defense. They're very athletic on offense, and the middle of that order is scary. So it's a very good baseball team. They lost a tight one last night to St. Francis, but I think this game and then the game after us, you're seeing the 4 top teams in the league, and if somebody just wants to watch good baseball, you're going to see really good arms, good lineups, good defense. You're going to see 4 teams that can really, really play baseball. And so I think it's going to be a really fun afternoon, fun evening here at Winterholder Field. We've just got to try to get to them. We got to get that pitch count up, or we got to get some runs off of them. We got to be able to do one of those 2 things, either try to get them out by the 6th inning or have a big inning or 2 and put up some runs to win and go from there.
And they get to watch it for free. Kyle, good luck.
All right, appreciate it, Rick.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
If you get sick, you can trust that we will take care of you. As a Magnet-designated healthcare system, our expert team will create a personalized plan to get you back on your feet. Marion Health. Great care from great people.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome here to Winter Holder Field. This has been the Marion Health pregame show, and it's our first winner's bracket game of the day, featuring the Trojans of Taylor, the top seed here in the Crossroads League this year after taking home the regular season title. Victors last night 11-6 over Marion, 38-13. 38-13 the record on the year for TU. They send out one of their promising sophomores this year in Gable Pentecost, and Nick Crabtree. Pentecost got the start yesterday for TU. Did not pick up the win as he gave up his most runs on the year, but the Trojans take on the always tough Huntington Foresters, who they split with earlier this year. And Pentecost on the bump. He had a no-hitter going against about over halfway point against Huntington in their matchup earlier this year. Foresters able to get a 3-0 win. Strike comes in at 2:31 p.m., and we are off and running here from Winter Holder Field. Bryce Deckman, the center fielder, leads it off for the Foresters. Junior out of Farmland, Indiana, just below the knees, and a ball and a strike here to Deckman. Huntington fell last night in 11 innings, 7-6 to USF, in a game that they trailed by 2 heading into the top of the 9th. They were able to work a bases-loaded situation and got the 2 tying runs to force extras. Lined into right field. Nepp is over there. He goes back, he hops, and he makes the catch for the first out. Defense behind Crabtree today. Braden Manning in left, Luke Picchiotti in center, Cam Nepp, as we mentioned, in right. Mason David, the third baseman, Ben Kennedy, the shortstop, Brennan Frickle at second, and Sam Glad at first. Jacob Caruso behind the plate. And the batter is Greg Nolasco Burroa, excuse me. Out of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, transferred in from Dawson Community College. And pitch one from Crabtree is low for a ball. Matt Wolf to follow, then Jordan Malott, this week's Crossroads League Player of the Week for the final week of the regular season. 1-0 is high, 2-0 here from Crabtree. Burroa batting .307 this year, 55 hits, tops for the Foresters by 1. 2-0, nobody on, 1 away. Top of the first, and Crabtree's fastball tails away, and he falls behind 3-0. Here to the second man in the order today for the Foresters, clad in the road green today with the gray pants, the white numbers and the white letters. Taylor in the white pants, purple tops, purple numbers and letters. 3-0 from Crabtree. Missed it above the letters. That's a 4-pitch walk, and the lead on, and the first man is on today here for Huntington.
The third baseman, Matt Wolf.
One away for the former Navy midshipman, Matt Wolf. Crabtree comes inside, and that's 5 straight out of the zone. Walks were an issue yesterday for starter Gable Pentecost. He walked 5 as he was unable to get the decision, leaving after the top of the 4th. Matt Dudkowski came in and picked up the win with Jake Boyer getting the save. A low throw. Good pick over there by Glad on a lefty toss from Crabtree. Wolf a .306 average with 15 doubles. He's driven 42 this year as Crabtree fires back over to first. Nolasco Burrow, the top man when it comes to stolen bases this year for Huntington. 26 swipes to lead the team. He's 26 for 34 overall. He takes off here on the 1-0. Caruso, one of the best man throwing guys out. Good dart down to second, and just sliding under the tag of Frickle is Nolasco Burrow. Ball 2 at the plate. And a speedy runner in scoring position here for Huntington as they look to strike early. Foresters hosted the season series this year, each team taking a pair of games. Huntington winning the middle 2, the Trojans winning 1 and 4. 2 balls, no strikes to the big righty Wolf. And just missing above the letters is Crabtree, 3-0. In danger of walking his second man on 4 straight offerings. Home plate umpire today is August Farwig. Tim Wesley is at first. Nick Marple over at third here for Game 7 of the Crossroads League Tournament. 3-0. Inside, and a much-needed strike there for Crabtree. Deckman flew out to right field to start the top of the first off. 4-pitch walk to Burroa, excuse me. He's now second after the steal. And low for ball 4, and there are 2 on with 1 away for the cleanup man, Jordan Malott. And an early mound visit here from pitching coach of Taylor, Justin Barber. Huntington had a program record 38 wins a season ago, but finished second place to Taylor in the regular season standings and then lost the championship game of the Crossroads League Tournament to eventual World Series participant, along with Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan, a 10-inning loss back there at Forest Glen as they were hosts of the league tournament a year ago. So Crabtree in some trouble early. A different start, as we mentioned, had the no-hitter through the halfway point of that 7-inning contest back in March. As with he and Graham Collin, who gets the ball today here in this elimination game for Huntington after losing last night.
Up to the plate, the third baseman.
Those two put on a pitching clinic
The first baseman,
back at
Jordan
HU
Malott.
when they played those games on March 28th in that Game 2 matchup. 2 on, 1 away for Malott. Two-seamer grazes the outside corner, and a good strike one here to start things off. Malott, top batting average for the Foresters at .351. One off the pace for the team lead with 54 knocks. Swings through a fastball here, and Crabtree goes ahead 0-2 for the first time today. Malott, the team leader in RBI by a bunch, has 59 ribbies on the year, 17 more than his closest man, and just missed strike three was Crabtree on the outer edge. One away. Next two have walked. Malott trying to make it three in a row, to reach. Baroa, the lead man at second base after stealing. Coming inside and look at it, strike three is Malott, and Crabtree bounces back after walking two in a row to get out number two.
The catcher, Sebastian Kuhns.
And that brings up the catcher, Sebastian Kuhns, out of Fort Wayne. Huntington not good on the road this year, just 14-14 coming in. And also played their first neutral site game last night, a loss as well. Two-seamer away to Kuhns, the righty, ball one. 248 the average for Kuhns this year. 26 hits, he's driven in 17. Big lead for Baroa at second. Going low is Crabtree, getting the bottom of the zone, called strike one to even it up. Top of the first. Taylor won their opening game yesterday against Marion. Huntington fell, so the Foresters need to win here to keep on playing. And coming back inside to the inner half is Crabtree, and he's up 1-2. After that mound visit from Barber, something has clicked for three in purple. First and second are where the Forester runners stand. Two outs, top of the first, they go. Tails away and running with nobody covering, and now it's second and third. So a good gamble there for Huntington, running on the two-strike offering, and now a base hit could give them a 2-0 lead. At the very least, it'll definitely score Nolasco Baroa from third. The 2-2 home. High and away, ball three. Dylan Ross, the right fielder, waits on deck. It'll be Zach Pelletier, Paco Polina, and Cade Flores. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Second and third are where the runners stand. Baroa comes home. Crabtree fires. Caruso's right there. He picked up the ball. He dropped it. And just getting in there safe and stealing home is Baroa. Crabtree dealt the fastball in. Caruso just bobbled it slightly. It's ball 4 to put Kuhns at first. But more importantly, Huntington has taken a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first after Baroa steals 3 bases after walking with one away. Wolf remains at second base. That was a tight play there at the plate. Not just because of the pitch coming in on a fastball from Crabtree, but he had Kuhns, who's a right-handed batter, up there, providing a block if Baroa couldn't get around it clean. He did. Caruso bobbled it, which helped him out. And they're 2 on with 2 away. Crabtree inside off speed for strike one here to Dylan Ross. Parker Richards runs for his catcher Kuhns over at first base. Fouled back to the backstop here by Roston. It's 0-2. Ross, the junior transfer out of the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Indiana native from Granger, Indiana. 2 strikes on him, 1 run home. And the 0-2. Hit high in the air towards Manning and left. He jogs in, now veers off to his left or right. He camps underneath and makes the catch for out number 3. But Gregory Nolasco Baroa steals 3 bases after walking with 1 out. And after one top inning of play, it's Huntington out 1-0. This is the Crossroads League Baseball Tournament on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Taylor down 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. And the first offering is in from the defending pitcher of the year in the Crossroads League, Graham Collin. Led the league in strikeouts last year with 94 of them. And he starts off with 2 quick ones here to Cam Knepp, the right fielder. Knepp, David, and Glad, the same 3 in the order for the Trojans throughout the majority of the year. Collin, the 6'3" junior right-hander, and he rolled over to the right side. Paulina down on it at second. He sidearms to first and Jordan Malott, and Knepp is retired here with 1 away in the first. And that brings up Mason David, top batter for the Trojans this season. Collin tops an ERA for Huntington at 2.89. A 6-3 overall record, his 11th start and his 11th appearance. Good breaker. Nicks the outside here to David for strike 1. Collin, opponents batting .231 off of him this year, 57 strikeouts and still low walks at just 20 free passes a year ago. Less than what he had a year ago when he walked 26 on his way to that Pitcher of the Year award and an honorable mention All-American nod. Second one missed. Third one is in low at the knees, and it puts David down 1-2. Mason yesterday, a big 2-run home run to give Taylor that 5-run cushion heading to the 9th inning. Curves one inside, lifts it high in the air to left. Baroa, the left fielder, coming in and foul ground. He comes back and he makes the catch with both Flores and Wolf around him as well. A long, high fly out into foul ground, 2 up and 2 down, with Taylor down 1 here in the bottom of the first. And Sam Glad will try to start a 2-out rally here for the home team.
Sam Glad.
Baroa, the left fielder, Deckman in center, Rost is the right fielder. Wolf at third, Flores at short. And Glad screams one hard out of play to the left. The lefty first baseman. Paulina at second, Malott the first baseman, and Coons is behind the plate for the Forcers here in this elimination game for them. 2 outs, nobody on. Taylor down 1. Chasing a curveball down low is Glad. He comes up empty. And Collin, with that 1-run lead, has come out guns a-blazing here in the bottom of the first. He's a strike away from a 1-2-3 first time on the hill. Dropped by Coons behind the plate, and Glad lives to see one more. The 1-2 home. Bouncer, shift is on. Behind second base, Flores, the shortstop, fires one high, but right to the eyes of Malott. And Taylor retired in order here in the bottom of the first. Huntington leads Taylor 1-0 after 1 inning. This is the Crossroads League Baseball Tournament on the Trojans Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, Rob Sisson, and Adam Sieglin, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
DH is number 29, Zach Pelletier here for the Foresters, their second game of the tournament. And Crabtree starts them off with a first pitch strike. 1 run scores on no hits in the top of the first for Huntington. Taylor goes down in order in the home half of the first. And Crabtree goes belt high, but 2 seam away. And 1-1 here for the DH. Pelletier, freshman out of Osceola, Indiana. Graduated from Penn High School up north. Gets underneath that one and fouls it out of play. Crabtree trying to retire the leadoff man for the second straight inning. After the foul ball, up the middle. Sliding stop, Kennedy at short, back to his feet, fires across, and leaning out to grab it is Glad. 1 away. Nice play there from Kennedy at short.
The second baseman, Paco Polina.
Here's Paco Polina. Junior out of Curacao, transferred in from Kankakee Community College. Batting out of the 8th spot here for the Foresters today. And it's ball 1 away here to start things off from Crabtree. Huntington finished in 4th place in the Crossroads League, a game back of their opponent an evening ago in St. Francis. Looped up right side, foul ground. Glad races, and he just reached out and missed it. Thought he was going to run out of room and hit the fence. No friends over there to help guide him of how close he was. Was about a step away from being able to haul it in. A strike here on Paulina. Base is empty, 1 out. Huntington batting in the top of the second in a game that they need to win to keep their postseason hopes alive. Little flare right side, staying down on a handcuffing. It was Glad. He makes the play nicely. Chests it down, smothers it up, 2 away on the 3 unassisted.
Now batting the shortstop, Cade Flores.
2 up, 2 down, and here's the shortstop for Huntington, Cade Flores. Made a nice play behind second base to retire Glad. Crabtree inside, called strike 1. Has not been afraid, Crabtree is not, about firing those inside pitches to the crowding batters here today for the Foresters on either side of the plate. Flores is lefty shortstop. Bender away, ball 1. Flores, freshman out of LaPorte, Indiana. Trying to continue the long lineage of stellar shortstops wearing the Huntington green. Cuts through on a fastball here, and he's down 1-2. Eighth start of the year for Nick Crabtree. 1-2, kicks out of the left, sawed off to the left side. It'll be a tight play as David charged from third, vacuums it up, throws to first. And the Trojans retire the side here in the second. Offense tries to get going for TU. They're down 1 here on the Trojans Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Taylor went down in order in the bottom of the first. Braden Manning, the left fielder, leads it off and screams one, bending it foul. Both teams in search of their first base knock here of the afternoon, as Huntington walked twice to get things going there back in the first. Manning taking his time as Colin ready on the mound to rock and roll. Second one, nubbed up the middle. Shift was on to the left and perfectly placed up the middle by Braden Manning, and the Trojans have the first hit here of the game today. So a leadoff single for Manning. And here's Brennan Frickle, the second baseman for the home team.
The second baseman, Brennan Frickle.
Frickle out of Driftwood, Texas. Righty on righty matchup. Takes a fastball at the letters for a called strike one. Frickle made yet another appearance in this week's NAI top plays after his diving stop, and then started a 4-6-3 double play against Goshen last week. Belled high to the outer half. Good placement there from Colin. And that gets Frickle down 0-2. 1-0 hole for Taylor here, their second turn at the plate. A calm look over to first by Colin. 0-2 pitch. Low and away. Good eye there from Frickle to not go down on 3 strikes. Again, Colin's strikeout numbers down this year, but when you strike out almost 100 guys a year ago, a little bit hard to raise that total up. Manning, not known for his base stealing prowess, takes a safe lead and then lunges back into first. In 82 1/3 innings a year ago, Colin allowed just 68 hits in that stellar sophomore campaign. Frickle watches a slider miss just a whisker low as he checked his swing. Good job there by Frickle, and he's got the count even at 2-2 after falling behind 0-2. Another packed house here at Winterholder Field. No surprise when Taylor and Huntington lock up. 2-2, and Frickle pops it up into the cloudy skies overhead to Ross, the right fielder. Now he jogs forward after waiting on it, and he makes the catch off the left side of his ear for the first out. Manning on, trying to tie this game up at 1.
The center fielder, Luke Picchiotti.
And the batter is Luke Picchiotti, who was an inch away from a highlight reel rob of a home run yesterday against East Step of Marion. The Knights victors in Game 1 earlier today. They play on, and we'll get the loser of tonight's contest, either Indiana Wesleyan or St. Francis, trying to keep their postseason hopes alive. First pitch strike here to Picchiotti. 293 the average for the lefty center fielder just outside of Chicago. Colin out of the stretch and fires a fastball low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Picchiotti 0 for 2 yesterday, walked once, and scored one of those key runs as Taylor fell behind twice, 2-0 and 4-2, before scoring 4 in the bottom of the 4th inning to take the lead that they would not relinquish. As they went on their way to an 11-6 triumph. Second and third ones have missed here from Colin, and the speedy Picchiotti is a ball away from putting 2 on here for Ben Kennedy. Hitters count here for the center fielder Picchiotti, the lefty with a shift on to the right. Chops it down to the right side, and the count is full. The shortstop, Cade Flores, plays almost directly behind second base. And Matt Wolf, the third baseman, has shifted over about 10-15 steps to his left or right. Almost equidistant between second and third base. He's the only defender on the left side of the infield. Playing the pull here against Picciotti is Huntington. And he hits it high over everything. High and deep to the warning track. And making the catch is Greg Nolasco-Baroa. Picciotti a couple feet away from going an Oppo 2-run home run to give Taylor the lead. Instead, it's a long fly out for the second retirement.
Now up to the plate, the shortstop, Ben Kennedy.
He had a feeling off the bat, and then watching Nolasco-Baroa run out there and left. Did not fly back there. Now was already playing fairly deep. But the pace, he did not go running after it. You watched him run, think it might stay in, which is what it did. Good slider here from Colin. Bottom part of the zone, strike one to Kennedy. Ben had a great day at the plate yesterday, 2 for 4. Leadoff solo home run yesterday, also doubled. Scored twice. Outside corner, just misses from Colin. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kennedy putting together his best offensive season of his young career. The sophomore batting .321. Manning still over there at first after a leadoff single. Defense plays straight up for Huntington as Kennedy pokes one to the right and foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Huntington still in front, 1-0 here as Taylor bats in the bottom of the second. And a must-win situation here for the Forsters. Colin readies, kicks and deals out of the stretch, and Kennedy swings through a fastball upstairs. First strikeout of the day for Colin. Taylor leaves the tying run at first base. We've played 2 and Huntington out front. 1-0. This is the Crossroads League Baseball Tournament on the Trojans Sports Network.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
First pitch sent to center field. Picciotti gets on his horse, racing to the warning track, and he's got a couple steps to spare as he grabs it in. Top of the order up here for the Forsters as Deckman flies out to center. Top of the third, Huntington on top, 1-0. And 1 pitch and an out here
The left fielder,
for Crabtree.
Nolasco-Baroa.
And the batter's the left fielder, Greg Nolasco-Baroa, who has scored the only run of the afternoon so far for HU and in our ball game overall. First pitch strike at the bottom of the zone. He walked on 4 pitches, Baroa did, and then decided to steal second, third, and home. Crabtree sliders away, ball 1. So that takes Baroa's steal total on the year from 26 to 29. He's also scored 47 runs here this season in his first year in Forester Green. Lifts one up to the right side. Glad will watch this one sail out of play to the right. And there are 2 strikes here on Baroa. A talented left fielder for the Foresters. Made that catch playing deep in left field. As the Trojan faithful tried to will it out of here, they could not. And Baroa down 1-2. Crabtree, the lefty, home. A liner towards Picciotti in center. A little less ground to track this time as he veers to his left. He hauls it in. 2 flyouts to Picciotti in center, and there are 2 gone here in the third. Hey, Huntington 1-0 lead on the board right now for the visitors.
The third baseman, Matt Wolf.
And here's Matt Wolf. We mentioned the former Navy midshipman, graduate of Fishers High School. Fastball is high. And as a former employee of the premier leadership institute in the world, I am required to say go Army, beat Navy. Spent his first 2 years of his college career in Annapolis as Crabtree comes back inside to make it 1-1. And like all the other service academies, there is no tuition charged, but you have to sign the document signing your, some folks call it signing your life away. That's what some of the cadets do, as he swings and misses at a fastball. But if you sign that document before your junior year and decide to not follow through with your service or leave one of the academies, you have to pay all this money back. So before signing that document, he left, spent a semester at Kentucky, never played due to an injury, as he sends the 1-2 away. Played on the summer ball team with former Foresters Langston Ginder, who's now the grad assistant, by the way, for HU. And their Steelers shortstop, Satchel Wilson. And now he's in his third year at Huntington. He's the graduate student after spending some time in Annapolis and down in Lexington. Shift is on to the left. He skies it opposite way into deep right where Cam Knepp is. He runs to his left and comes in and makes the grab. And that's back-to-back 1-2-3 innings here for Nick Crabtree on the mound for TU. Taylor Bat's trying to get going here. They're down 1-0. Here we head to the bottom of the third on the Trojans Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Taylor down 1-0 as they bat here in the bottom of the third. Graham Collin putting together a fine showing here on the mound for HU, and he starts Fletcher Remick off with a strike low and away. 8-9-1 up for the Trojans as the DH Remick pops one up and out. 0-2 on a foul ball. Fletch yesterday, good day. 2 for 4, drove in a run. Scored 3 different times for the Trojans yesterday after reaching on an error. 0-2 from Collin. Good job by Remick to lay off the high heat. Remick, Caruso, and then Knepp up for Taylor here as they try to get their second base runner on. It was Manning an inning ago, but got to first after a leadoff single and then stayed there. Second one up high from Collin, 2-2. Two-two, quickly delivered up the third base side, but just skitters foul to the left. This is our second game of the day. It's our first potential elimination game. Our second potential elimination game. If Huntington would lose, they're done, going 0-2 out. We've already seen one team eliminated today with number 6 Marion pulling off the first upset of the day as Remick checks, but he watches a backdoor slider come into the upper part of the zone. Second strikeout of the day for Collin. There's one away to start the bottom of the third. So 6-seed Marion knocks off 5-seed Mount Vernon Nazarene. The better seeds have won every other game up until that one.
Jacob Caruso.
One away, base is empty for Caruso. Righty on righty. Fastball misses high. Caruso 1 for 2 yesterday with a walk in the win over Marion. Goes opposite way, but off the handle of the bat, lifts her foul. 1-2. Or 1-1, excuse me. Caruso saw that average tick up to 206 with that base knock yesterday. Watches one at the belt come in, and Caruso, upset with himself, taps his chest. That one started off high, then came back into his wheelhouse. He falls behind 1-2. Collin waits his time, now fires home. And Caruso puts a charge to one to deep left field. Baroa's there, and he's going to have another grab. This one a couple steps in front of the warning track in left. Two well-struck balls to left field, but not far enough to get away from the speedy Greg Nolasco Baroa. Two away for the top of the order in Nep.
The right fielder, Cam Neff.
Second time through the order for Graham Collin, the defending Crossroads League Pitcher of the Year. He tries to dispose of Cam Nepp, the Taylor right fielder, for the second time. First offering a ball. Collin ready to rock and roll, and here's the second one quickly to the lefty Nepp. He hits it right back up the middle, a two-out single for Taylor. They've got a couple of base knocks, and they're only down by one, as now they'll bring up Mason David.
The third baseman, Mason David.
First hit with two outs for either team here in our contest this afternoon, game number 7 of the 2024 Crossroads League Tournament. Nepp a good lead over at first. He represents the tying run with two outs here in the bottom of the third. David a late swing and a miss on a low fastball for a strike. David, the two-run home run yesterday, going 2 for 5. Pickoff attempt back to first. Nepp gets back by about a half a length of a finger. Nepp has not taken a lot of bases this year, 3 for 4. But does have good wheels over there at the first base bag. Collin's second one bounces in the turf. Good cover from Coons, and the count levels. You heard in our pregame conversation with Taylor head coach Kyle Gould, he mentioned going against Collin today. Said you're going against one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher, or one of the best pitchers in the league, as they get David to pop it up right side. Runs will be at a premium. Polina races in from second, two-hand glove catch above his head. And for the second inning in a row, Taylor leaves the tying run stranded at first. 3 innings in the books here from Winterholder Field. 4-seed Huntington leads top seed Taylor 1-0. This is the Crossroads League Baseball Tournament on the Trojan Sports Network.
If you get sick, you can trust that we will take care of you. As a Magnet-designated healthcare system, our expert team will create a personalized plan to get you back on your feet. Marion Health. Great care from great people.
Middle third of the order up for Huntington here in the top half of the fourth as they lead Taylor 1-0. Jordan Malott, Sebastian Coons, and Dylan Rost. Ball one to start things off for Malott. Pops up the second one to shift to the left side. Glad the only one on the right side of the infield. He's underneath of it and catches the infield pop-up for the first out. Both teams deploying their defenses into shifts throughout the majority of the at-bats here this afternoon against both teams. One away for Coons, the catcher. And a first pitch strike is in from Crabtree. Again, Nick ran into the issues, walking 3 men in that first inning. With Nolasco Burroa, stealing 3 times, second, third, and then home with a righty up. As Crabtree misses load, 1-1, to get the only run on the board here so far. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings in the second and third here for Crabtree. And the second one sawed away, 1-1. Or 1-2, excuse me. It has been 8 in a row retired here from Crabtree. So remember when these teams met in Game 2 of this regular season series, Crabtree had a no-hitter going through past the halfway point of that 7-inning contest. Fires one away, 2-2. Coons, the righty bat, was 0 for 4 with a strikeout and a walk in last night's extra inning setback to St. Francis. 2-2, high bouncer, left side. Coming in, Kennedy fields off the left side of his body, throws sidearm on the run, and Glad is right there for the 6-3 putout.
The right fielder, Dylan Rost.
And Dylan Rost steps in, trying to be the first man to reach since the first. Crabtree, the lefty, out of the stretch, gets a foul ball to the parking lot from Rost. And that set of oohs and ahs means someone's car almost got dented. Rost 0 for 1, flying out to Manning and left. And Crabtree comes back with a low breaking ball to make it 0-2. Crabtree trying to get his third straight 1, 2, 3 inning. But Huntington still in front, 1-0. 2 strikes. Now 1 ball. Oh for 3 showing an evening ago, but Ross able to get on twice with a couple of walks. Struck out twice last night. Crabtree inside, misses. You can see a little bit of look on that face there by the curly-haired Crabtree, knowing he was close to getting strike 3. 2 outs, nobody on. Defense plays straight up. And a hard hit ball to the gap in left center. Picciotti's got it. And he's counting underneath. Then it's another 1, 2, 3 frame here for Huntington. 3 in a row as Crabtree has retired 10 straight. But the Foresters still have a 1-0 lead as Taylor hasn't been able to get a man past first. They try to change that after this commercial break here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
The 4th inning was good to Taylor yesterday. They're hoping it's good for them here today against Huntington as they're down by 1. Collin missing inside to the lefty Glad, ball 1. Taylor was down 4-2 yesterday in inning number 4 to Marion before they rocketed home to 4 runs in that frame to take a lead for good. Ball 1 and then a swing and a miss here to Glad. He's got the count 1-1. Sam, the sophomore out of Columbia City, Indiana. And there's ball 2. Glad 0 for 1, grounding out to Flores at short. Glad was the highlight reel maker as he goes opposite way, but it tails foul. 2 strikes. Glad the highlight man yesterday for TU, 3 for 4 with 3 runs batted in, but ended the year on a tear when the Trojans got to the World Series out in Lewiston, hitting 4 home runs. Shift is on to the right, and they get Glad to pop it up. You can hear his groan as he lifts into the left, twisting and twirling his Wolf. He gets called away at the last moment, and the freshman Flores comes in racing from short and makes the catch above his head for the first out, as Wolf spun one time completely around and did another 180 before Flores, who was there with him step for step, came in and hauled in the pop fly in deep left field.
Now batting, the left fielder, Braden Manning.
And out here for the Trojans. Manning had Taylor's first hit of the day, but didn't get off of first base. Slider at the knees, taken for a strike. Manning singled up the middle. Slight shift off to the left, not as extreme as we've seen with Polina still on the right side of second base. Off speed in for strike 2 to Manning. As Collin in a nice groove here after sacrificing the 2 singles today. Up the middle, is it going to beat Flores? He's able to catch as it caught dying on the mound, and a good strike thrown over from Flores as Manning retired for the first time today, and there are 2 away for Taylor in the 4th, down 1.
The second baseman, Brennan Frickle.
So it's Brennan Frickle trying to get Taylor their 2nd inning in a row with a 2-out hit. Close to being strike 1 on the 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but it's out. After that rough first inning, Crabtree has gone, now retired, 10 in a row, but the Trojan offense has not been able to get much off of a couple of singles off of last year's pitcher of the year, Graham Collin. 2-0 to Frick. Hits it hard to the left side, but right at Flores at short, deep in the hole. Knee-armed arm on that right arm, and he fires across with the neon green arm sleeve. 3 up, 3 down for Taylor in the 4th. And we played 4 from Winter-Holder Field. 4-seed Huntington leads top seed Taylor 1-0. This is the Crossroads League Baseball Tournament on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, Rob Sisson, and Adam Sieglin, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Seven, 8, 9 due up for Huntington here in the top of the 5th as they lead Taylor 1-0 in a game that they need to win to keep their tournament hopes alive. Ball 1 to the DH, Zach Pelletier. 10 in a row sat down by Crabtree. Back-to-back, 1, 2, 3 frames in the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th. Just below the knees on the outside black, 2-0. Huntington lost their game last night, so they are in danger of being eliminated here. Crabtree comes back in, gets a strike on the inner half. Taylor won yesterday, so they still have a loss to play with. Low for a strike, right at the knees. 2-2. Good battle back here from Crabtree. Again, with the play-in tournament, it makes the what used to be until last year, the excuse me, the 8-team double elimination tournament, now just a 6-team tournament. 2-2. Hard hit up the left side, and this is going to be the first hit of the afternoon for Huntington. Leadoff base knock for Pelletier, and the DH rounds first as Manning able to cut that one off in the deep left field corner. And the leadoff man on for the first time today here for HU.
The second baseman, Paco Paulina.
And it brings up the second baseman, Paco Paulina. He squares a bunny, pops it in the air. It's going towards the backstop netting, and it sails over and made a nice catch by one of the reserve players for the Huntington roster that's not on their postseason roster down there in row 2. Paulina grounded out to Glad, his only time up today. First hit of the afternoon for the Foresters, and Paulina fouls this one, but with more pace out to the lot. Top of inning number 5. Taylor trying to stay in the winner's bracket and play tomorrow at 2:30. Huntington trying to keep their postseason hopes alive. Runner at first, stays. Paulina saws off on the 0-2. Caruso almost able to hold on to it. Paulina, .214 average, 34 hits, and has driven in 14 on the year. Fourth one from Crabtree. Swing and a miss. First down in the books here in the top of the fifth as as Crabtree gets his second strikeout today.
The shortstop, Cade Flores.
Another packed house here for the second Taylor game of the Crossroads League Tournament. Huntington has brought a healthy contingent of folks wearing the green. Big swing and a miss inside from the lefty Flores, strike one. That neon green sleeve on his right throwing arm. He's made a couple nice plays at the hole at short today. Saws one way above his head, and he is talking to himself in frustration as he's down 0-2. Flores is 5'10". Crabtree threw that one. That would be eye level with a man that was like 6'2". Leadoff single as Pelletier at first, the 0-2 home. Good take there from Flores. Ball one on a fastball. So Crabtree's consecutive batter streak stops at 10 with a leadoff base knock from Pelletier. Got Paulina to strike out. And he gets Flores to strike out looking. He checked his swing, and then he watched a slider clip the outside half. Back-to-back punch-outs for Crabtree.
The center fielder, Bryce Deckman.
We go back to the top of the order, and the center fielder, Bryce Deckman. Top of inning number 5, Huntington out front 1-0. After the man on deck, Nolasco Baroa stole home. Low for a ball. Third time through the order here for Crabtree. An 0 for 2 days so far for Deckman. Has flown out to right field and center. High ball. Away as well, 2-0. Taylor's been dominant here at home this year, 21-2. Their only losses to 2-seed Indiana Wesleyan here on the home field. We mentioned Huntington struggles away from Forest Glen Park, 14-14. In true road games, 2-0 lifted foul by Deckman. They played their first neutral site game last night and fell here to St. Francis, 7-6 in 11. We'll see St. Francis later today against aforementioned Iwu. That's our last game here of day 3. 2-1 to Deckman, runner still at first. Good backhand stop by Caruso off of his right knee. It's 3-1 here for Deckman as Crabtree in danger of walking his 4th batter here today. 1-0 Huntington lead as they look for their first 2-out hit. Crabtree a deep breath, the 3-1. Inside, lifted up the left field line, going and foul by about 3 feet. And that breathes new life into Crabtree here on the mound. Both teams used just 3 pitchers yesterday. Tyler Pappenbrock went 7 innings for HU, 3 1/3 for Noah Arbuckle. Then R.J. Anglin took the tough luck loss, walking the last 2 men of the ball game. including the game-winning run in the bottom of the 11th. Payoff pitch, defense straight up, runner goes, and that's ball 4. And there are 2 on here for Greg Nolasco-Baroa. And there is a new runner in at second base for Huntington. That's number 38.
Number 38, Jonathan Baker.
Jonathan Baker, they're one of their starting pitchers out to run here for the Foresters.
Now batting the left fielder, Gregory Nolasco-Baroa.
Baker, the junior right-hander out of Milford, Ohio. So he runs for Pelletier at second with 2 outs. This big swing and a miss from Greg Nolasco-Baroa. 0-1 as the sun starts to creep out from behind the clouds here this afternoon. Huntington with 2 men on the bases for the second time today. Nice off-speed Crabtree, nods up and down, starting to pitch with a little bit of swagger there as he goes ahead 0-2 on the left fielder. Nick trying to throw up his 4th straight 0 here. 0-2 pitch, hammered in the left field. Manning was playing back, and Baker's going to get the wave around. Manning comes up and throws a dart to the infield. It will pull Caruso away. And a 2-out base hit for Nolasco-Baroa gives Huntington a 2-0 lead after he scored their first run back in the first.
The third baseman, Matt Wolf.
But Deckman only goes up 90 feet, so he still stays at second for Matt Wolf. Just the second hit that Crabtree has allowed here this afternoon. But it comes back to bite him after the leadoff single put Pelletier on, and Baker comes in to run for him. Wolf skies on the first one, golfing it up the right side. Foul ground is where Sam Glad, the first baseman, runs, loses his sunglasses, and makes the catch up and over his head for the 3rd out. But the first 2-out hit of the afternoon provides Huntington their 2nd run today. And we hit the halfway point of our ball game here from Taylor University with the home team down 2-0 to Huntington here on the Trojans Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Center fielder Luke Picchiotti leads it off for Taylor. Graham Collin, the starter for Huntington, now pitching with a 2-run lead, and Picchiotti cuts on a curveball, and he comes up with nothing but air. Strike 1. Picchiotti, Kennedy, and Remick, 6, 7, and 8, as some activity starting to start with haste over there in the Taylor bullpen. With Jack Ross getting warm, starting to stretch. Wes Hunt down there as well. Ball 1 to Picchiotti on the second one. And a good eye from Picchiotti as Collin misses with an upstairs fastball. Taylor's gotten 2 singles off of Collin today, but no one is left first. Picchiotti, big swing and a miss on another good off speed and a slider, or breaking ball, I should say, there from Collin. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Picks 0 for 1, flying out to deep left field his only time up today. Had Manning on first, it would have given Taylor a 2-1 lead then. Instead, he pulls one to the gap in right center field. If he can get down quick, it could be trouble. And Picchiotti on his horse, rounding first. And he slides in, feet first into second base. And the Trojan faithful finally have something good to cheer about offensively. Leadoff double for Picchiotti. His 6th one here of the year. And now here's Kennedy.
Ben Kennedy.
We thought we were going to see Jack Ross yesterday, but it was the Mason David late home run that had Ross sit back down as Boyer able to take it to the finish line and get his 4th save of the year. Tying run of the plate in Kennedy, who went yard yesterday. First man in scoring position all afternoon for those wearing purple. Kennedy swings away and pops it up high. Taylor hoping it keeps carrying out of play to the right, and it does. A first pitch pop out would have been detrimental and really stomped out the Taylor momentum that the Picchiotti double to start this bottom of the 5th off has started to simmer a little bit. Kennedy a strikeout in his only plate appearance here against Collin. Righty on righty. BK was 2 for 4 yesterday with that solo home run. Hits one up the right side here. Tailing to deep right field and diving and not going to get to it, Dylan Ross. And that's a mistake for the Huntington right fielder. Picchiotti comes in to score, and Kennedy takes his spot. Back-to-back doubles as Ross dove and came up with nothing. And the Trojans trail 2-1. Thankfully for Ross, he was deep enough there in right field that it only bounced a little bit off of the wall.
Now batting the DH, Fletcher.
But still sends Kennedy with nobody out into scoring position for Remick. Back-to-back doubles. The Trojans have finally pushed a run across here. Remick, delayed bunt, and a strike at the letters on the outer half. As Malott slowly and menacingly walks in from first, anticipating another bunt here from Remick. Fletcher 2 for 4 yesterday, scored 3 times. Homered twice in the regular season finale series here on this field against Goshen. Leans out of the way as that one almost landed on his chin. 1-1 on some high heat from Collin. Nobody out, bottom of the 5th. Eager anticipation from those in the stands wearing purple. Remick up the right side, fair! And this should tie the game as it dies in deep left field. How about 3 straight doubles to start the bottom of the 5th? Picchiotti, Kennedy, and now Remick, and we're tied at a deuce. And a long, slow walk for the former Los Angeles Dodger, Mike Machma, in his first season as the Huntington pitching coach. Thad Frame, their head coach in his 2nd season, the long tenured assistant coach under his father, Mike, who retired a couple of years back. Thad has spent almost 2 decades in Huntington Green after playing there as the shortstop for 4 years. Was a preseason All-American, multi-time All-League pick. Was named the head coach in late August of 2022 after his father retired after 38 years as the head coach earlier that month. Pops won 17 conference regular season or tourney titles and was a 7-time conference coach of the year.
The catcher, Jacob Crusoe.
Inducted to multiple Hall of Fames, including the one in Huntington and the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame, recording 920 wins in almost 40 years leading the Huntington program. 3 straight doubles here for Taylor. They've tied it at 2 with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. As Malott about 4 steps in from first base. Caruso goes up the right side and sends her foul. We've seen Caruso lay sacrifice bunts down. It'll be interesting to see what the Trojans elect to do here with the top of the order waiting on deck. As now Malott backs up at first, but Wolf about a step away from the infield green turf on the third base side. Now there's the bunt from Caruso. He pulls it back with the corner infielders away. Low for a ball, 1-1. And that brings Malott in 3 steps in from first base on the right side. Wolf still has to play back with Remick the runner at second, with Flores the shortstop pretty much a shadow behind him. Caruso a bunt, right up the middle. 3 men charge, and they all run into each other. A whip to first, and Caruso's thrown out by a step. The Taylor folks don't like it, but Colin, Malott, and Coons, almost 3 Stooges, and ran into each other in front of home plate. Thankfully for them, Malott came in and used his size to box out his 2 teammates and turned and whipped one to first where Polina was covering. But the sacrifice bunt works, and it almost paid off in spades, with Caruso thrown out by a step, but now a sac fly would give Taylor the lead.
The right fielder, Cam Neff.
Two-two, bottom of the 5th, 1 away, as Taylor has finally pushed runs across here against the defending pitcher of the year, Graham Collin. Another surefire all-Crossroads League first-team pick should be coming his way in a couple of weeks. Huntington infield plays in against the lefty Nepp, and a low first pitch here, 1-0. Collins shut out Taylor 3-0 when these teams met back heading into Easter weekend at the end, near the end of March. Roll over right side, Polina at second. He fires home, a low bouncer, and Remick slides, and he should be safe. No, they'll say that he was tagged out. Coons bobbled the ball, and as he came over to his left with the ball in his mitt, it looked like Remick had slid underneath the tag. But August Farwig behind the plate leaned left, leaned right, leaned left, and leaned right again, trying to see if Coons had held on to the ball, and he called him out as Nepp is safe at first, but it looked like from our vantage point that Remick had slid under the tag of Coons. And now Taylor head coach Kyle Gould talking with Farwig on the third base side. They had Remick dead to rights on a good throw from Polina, the second baseman. It one hopped in, but then it was Coons that fumbled with it, and that gave Remick a little bit of an extra chance. But he's been called out at home, and there are 2 outs here with the game still tied at 2. Fielder's choice has Nepp over at first. And that's Farwig's call behind the plate, so he can't get any help from Wesley or Marple, since they were up on the respective third and first base lines.
Now batting the third baseman, Mason David.
So a tough break there for Taylor as they were an inch or so away from taking their first lead. And now they'll try to do some more damage here with 2 away. Mason David stepping in for the 3rd time. Fastball bouncer right side. Polina waits on it, stabs in front, throws sidearm to first, and there's the 3rd out. So the Trojans start the inning off with 3 straight doubles. They score 2 runs, but then go quietly to end the 5th. We're tied at 2 after 5. This is the Crossroads League Baseball Tournament on the free Trojan Sports Network. Good one brewing here from Winterholder Field. Taylor and Huntington tied at 2 as the 4-seed Forsters bat here in the top half of the 6th. with each team with a decent amount of hits today. Taylor with 3 doubles to start off that bottom of the 5th to lead to their 2 runs. The batter here is Jordan Malott, the first baseman. He starts out 2-0 here on the starter, Crabtree. Work continuing in the Taylor pen with Jack Ross. Just 3 men, spectators in the Huntington bullpen opposite way in the right field corner. Third one, chopped third base side. Stabbed in front of the chest by David, ranges and fires a bullet across to Glad for the first out. 0 for 3 afternoon for the cleanup man, Malott.
The catcher, Sebastian Coons.
And there's one away for the catcher, Coons. Righty on righty here with a closed stance for the Huntington backstop. With that lead left foot big toe riding the inside stripe of the batter's box. Sky's the first one out of play. He's 0 for 1, Coons is. Long tenured catcher for Huntington. Started his college career at Paris Junior College. The righty saws one up high and he comes up with nothing but air. 0-2 on the swing and miss. Walking a ground out today for Coons. He watches the 0-2 sail away from his right-handed bat. Crabtree starting to knock on the door of 90 pitches thrown. Again, converted to a starter about halfway through the year this year. 1-2 home. Off the outside part of the plate, his 2-seamer makes it 2-2. Two and two. The count. 2-2 the score. Nobody on here in the 6th. Crabtree readies and deals home to Coons. Little flare to the gap in right center. Knepp races after it, and he makes the catch. That ball continued to carry. It looked like it might just bloop in front of either he or Picchiotti, but it kept sailing out towards the right fielder, and the senior Knepp's got it for out 2.
Now batting, the right fielder, Dylan Ross.
2 up, 2 down as Crabtree looks for his 4th 1-2-3 inning here of the day. Standing in his way, Dylan Ross, the right fielder. And he lines one towards Picchiotti in center. He races, he dives, and it's in and out of the end of his mitt as Ross is on with a 2-out single. As Picchiotti a hair away from a highlight reel catch. He was a hair away yesterday from climbing the ladder and robbing a home run of Dawson Estep that gave Marion a 4-2 lead, and here he's a whisker away from a diving catch for the 3rd out. Pinch hitter up here for the Foresters in number 5, Sam Kestranek. So Sam Kestranek out of Bloomington. Batting for the first time here today, and a fastball on the outside. Six for 37 is Kestranek this season. Tries to make it back-to-back 2-out hits, and he flies one back to the backstop for strike 2. He pinch hits for the DH Pelletier, who singled last inning, was pinch ran for by the pitcher Jonathan Baker and scored to make it a 2-0 Huntington lead. Tied at 2 here. Crabtree tried to get Kestranek to chase. He could not. And there's ball 1. 1-out single for Ross has him at first. He represents the go-ahead run for HU. Tied at 2 in the 6th. Crabtree the lefty, a deep breath. Now 2 of them. And just misses the outside part of the plate by about a ball width, 2-2. Kestranek, junior infielder, 5'8". Did not play last night. He's got the count 2-2 after falling behind 0-2. High bouncer up the middle. Coming forward will be Kennedy. Fields quickly out of the mitt, throws to first, and they got him. Nicely done by Kennedy to get the pinch hitter, the quickie Kestranek, out by a hair. We head to the bottom of the 6th, still tied at 2 between Taylor and Huntington. This is the Crossroads League Baseball Tournament on the Trojan Sports Network.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Sam Glad leads it off here for Taylor as we're tied at 2. And he lifts the first one up and out of play. Hard of the order up for Taylor here against Graham Collin. It'll be Glad, Manning, and Frickle. As we're joined by Associate Athletic Director of Intercollegiate Athletics and Senior Women's Administrator Natalie Young. That's the longest title in the history of the working world, I think.
It's a lot of letters, and I don't know how to spell those words, but we'll take it.
That's what spell check is for. We'll get to your big announcement in a minute. 2 strikes here to Glad. The big thing you want to do. Say you have a big thing you want to do here quick. I want to make sure we don't forget it.
I do, yeah. I was hoping before we talked that I could wish a very happy 12th birthday to my nieces.
Sam Glad has delivered them a leadoff single. That's a pretty good birthday present, I think.
It is. I got triplet nieces. I got Melody, Tessa, and Ava, and I know they're listening, and I know they're big Taylor fans, so I wanted to say happy birthday to them on the air. I think hopefully they'll enjoy that.
They're not in school? Are they done with school for the day?
I think they just finished. They kind of hanging around. Their mom works at the school there, so hopefully they're tuned in and cheering for the Trojans.
Shout out Mom, also known as your sister.
Yes.
So the go-ahead run is on here for the Trojans as Braden Manning steps in. He's 1 for 2 this afternoon. Taylor gets their 6th hit off of Graham Collin, and he starts things off with a fastball low and away. Big news earlier this week. We were announced as hosting the opening round of the Baseball National Tournament for the 3rd straight year. What was it like when you got to see the announcement come through?
Yeah, it's just really exciting. I mean, we have a great facility. Our team is obviously excellent, already qualified, so we're just happy to be the host site again for the 3rd year in a row, and we're excited about whoever we welcome here to Upland. It's going to be a great week of baseball.
Manning a high fly ball and caught in right center field by Bryce Deckman, 1 away. Taylor 2, Huntington 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. We're joined by Associate Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Natalie Young, who also becomes pretty much the boss of our boss during both league tournament time and the national tournament with head baseball coach Kyle Good, also the Director of Intercollegiate Athletics. You get even more titles here in the month of May.
That's right. Take full advantage of, usually he's my boss, and this week I guess I can act like I'm his. He's just a head coach, and I am an admin role.
And you remind him of that maybe on the hour, at least bi-hourly.
Multiple times a day. Yeah, it's not gonna waste that opportunity.
2 strikes to Frickle as he swings and misses here as Collin tries to work around a leadoff single. We're tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. What's it like when you come out here, and you've obviously been here for going on the better part of a decade now? What's it like when you come out here and you see these stands filled like they were yesterday and here again today?
It is a really fun atmosphere to be in. It's really exciting to be able to host. I was talking to Kyle a little bit earlier this morning and said, we're only going to be able to host the conference tournament once every 4 years now that we're kind of in a bigger rotation. So we just talked about soaking it in and being out as much as we could and taking advantage of these crowds and these fans and what a great group of teams in the Crossroads League. We really enjoy being able to be host to events like this.
A ball to Frickle. Checks on a slider, but it still hits the outside corner as August Farwig punches him out. 3rd strikeout here for Collin. There are 2 gone for Taylor after the leadoff single for Sam Glad. Tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Kind of give us a quick look behind the curtain of what all goes into hosting the opening round, and it is a quick turnaround from the Thursday announcement to teams getting here 2 days later than playing that next Monday.
Yeah, it's a big event, and we usually start a little bit earlier. We anticipate that we might have a good season. We ask for the bid from the NAI, and we kind of go through a process. We got to make sure we take care of our guests with hospitality pieces. We got to make sure hotels are set, umpires, all those types of things. So We're excited to have Nelson's food truck back on campus for the week. But yeah, we really want all the players to come in to have a championship feel to the tournament. So we'll try to add as many special touches as we can, just to welcome them, make it feel like a big deal, because it absolutely is a big deal. These boys play 50 games a year, and they are the elite of the NAI, and we want them to enjoy every piece of that.
Now, this isn't the only time. Baseball isn't the only sport Taylor has hosted the opening round for. They've done so as well with volleyball a couple years ago, and we sold that place out in Odell in a pretty raucous atmosphere. There's ball 1 to Picchiotti, 1 and 2.
Absolutely. The feedback we get from the NAI, honestly, like the crowd participation is a huge piece. And in the last couple of years, that the baseball show and volleyball last year, we packed the place out. So, again, we want these kids to feel like they are playing in like a national championship level, and that the crowd participation is huge in that environment.
Picchiotti gets hit, which is good for the Trojans and means we get to talk to Natalie more, so that's fantastic. 2-2, or scored 2-2, 2 outs here in the 6th, 2 on here for Ben Kennedy. As you look forward, obviously there's some, you'd love to, we've seen other teams in the Crossroads League host both basketball and softball. Is that on the horizon as well for us here at Taylor? Obviously there are different requirements to host different sports.
Yeah, absolutely. We have all of our facilities are certified by the NAI as potential host sites, and so as our teams progress through the season, when they are in that top grouping in the Crossroads League, we'll put in bids. We want to be the host, and we want to have our other teams be able to experience kind of what the volleyball and the baseball teams have been able to experience, competing postseason, but right here in front of their home fans and their friends here on campus, and their families travel so well. So we really look forward to the day that we can host like soccer here at Turner, or that we can have Goodacoons full for softball, and that is always the hope, and we think we're not too far away from that.
First one fouled away by Kennedy. He's got 2 on the pond here with 2 outs in the 6th. Taylor looking to take their first lead today. Kennedy right back up the middle, but stabbed and sliding in and just getting beat to the bag was Picchiotti by Polina, the second baseman. Natalie, can you stick around for one more half inning?
I would love to.
She's then going to sing the 7th inning stretch, so we'll get her vocal cords warmed up for that. Off to the 7th, tied at 2 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
To the final 3 innings we go here today from Winter Holder Field. Jack Ross, the second-team All-American a year ago, on the mound here for TU. He faces off with a pinch hitter, Owen Immel, batting out of the 8th spot for Paco Polina. Lefty sawed off to the right, and it's a foul to start things off. We are tied at 2 between Taylor and Huntington. Taylor the top seed, Huntington the 4 seed, and we are still joined by Associate Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Natalie Young. We'll get back to Nat here in a minute after second pitch from Ross to Immel, as Jack takes over for the starter, Nick Crabtree. Backdoor breaking ball makes it 0-2. Indiana Wesleyan here. They're going to play St. Francis in our final game of day number 3. No elimination in that game with both teams victorious an evening ago. Huntington needing a win here to keep playing. Ground ball right side. Coming up, backhand stop Frickle. It bounces underneath his mitt. And E4 for the reliable Frickle, and leadoff man is on here for HU as they try to regain the lead. And coming back in to run at first will be Polina. Tough break there for Frickle on one that he makes 9 times out of 10. The leadoff man is on here for just the second or third time here for HU.
Now batting the shortstop, Cade Flores.
And it brings up the shortstop, Cade Flores. Natalie, we talked about it with Kyle a couple of days ago. Big news with Austin Peters being named the new men's basketball head coach. He's been here all 5 days this week before he flies back to Arizona tomorrow. What's it been like to both get to go through the interview process with Austin and also welcome you to campus this week?
Yeah, Coach Peters has joined us from Arizona Christian. He's got some Midwest roots, but we went through an exhaustive process, had a lot of really qualified candidates really that fit the mission, that fit the school, that fit what we were looking for, and Austin just kind of popped to the top of that pile, and we couldn't be more excited to have him here on our campus. And I mean, he just jumped in with 2 feet, and he's just been, I'm getting emails from him at 9, 10 o'clock at night, getting texts he's just ready to go. He's excited about the opportunity, and we couldn't be more excited to have him.
Bunt, third base side, foul. 2 strikes here on Cade Flores. He's also having a whirlwind life. His wife is pregnant, due with their first child here in less than 2 months. So it's been every time I see him, every time I don't want to go up and talk to him, I think he'd like some alone time to kind of catch his breath a little bit.
That's right. He's trying to, be a head coach for the first time. He's trying to move across the country with his pregnant wife and trying to house them and trying to make sure everything is taken care of. And I mean, he's doing it with a smile on his face, and it's so refreshing to have him here. And we're excited about everything that he brings to the table.
Hit and run is on. Step at second, no, but they do get the out at first. So Flores retired, but Polina into scoring position with 1 away in the top of the order coming up for Huntington as they're tied at Taylor at 2-2 here in the top of the 7th. Other head coaching openings going on, men's soccer as well, and then one that's got posted earlier this week. Tell us about the search is going for those 2 positions.
Yeah, we're looking for men's soccer. Obviously, Coach Gary Ross took a job in advancement here, so he's staying at Taylor, and we couldn't be more excited about that. Great opportunity for him that he wanted to pursue. So soccer job's open. We've been working through that here the last couple weeks with our softball season coming to a close and the postseason kind of off and rolling. We've posted our softball position looking for a full-time head coach after a year under interim coach Doug Gower. Did a great job, has done a wonderful job as an assistant and as an interim head coach for us. And actually have another job posted with our men's and women's tennis program that will relaunch starting in the fall of 2025. So we're just looking for good people to come to a great place and impact our student athletes. And it's a lot of work, but it's a fun and exciting process to see some of these adults that we're going to put in roles to impact our kids.
2-0 to Bryce Deckman. Go-ahead runs at second, and the speedy Polina. Ross fires away 3-0 as Deckman tries to get on for the second time. He's 0 for 2 with the walk. The excitement level to bring tennis back after a couple of years away. Obviously, part of this big central $500 million revitalization of the Taylor campus where new buildings keep popping up, it seems like, every day, and athletics right in the middle of that coming up here, and you mentioned the fall of 25.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun relaunch. I was sad to see the program kind of take a little hiatus, but we're excited to bring it back. We're excited about the future of the program. Taylor and tennis, they fit really well together. And we are excited about the money that is coming in. We'll go toward a new tennis complex for those student athletes that will be over toward Goodekunst. We'll have some space out there where they will be established. So it's again, it's a lot of work, but everything that we're doing feels really fun, and it feels like it's very impactful for our student athletes, and that's why our job exists, to impact them. So what a great opportunity for all of us.
4-pitch walk to Deckman, 2 on the pond here for Huntington with 1 away. Ross fastball inside to Greg Nolasco-Baroa, who has scored the first run and driven in the second run for Huntington today. RBI single with 2 outs in the 5th, and Justin Barber comes out, the Taylor pitching coach, for his second mound visit of the day. First one here with Ross. You also have had a very big, and you've been very active the last couple of years. You played a key role in the rebrand of Taylor Athletics as the whole university rebranded themselves, but we in athletics took the very first step last fall with the new logo, getting gold out, bringing gray in. New logos everywhere. Batter's Eye here came up a couple weeks ago. Obviously, midfield at Turner Stadium, midcourt, and the whole new floor that you designed inside Odell Arena. What have these last couple of years been like, going from the old logo to the new logo and trying to make sure that we have the new logo in all the proper spaces and checking off all those boxes.
Yeah, it's been such a fun process. I really enjoy design, and I really enjoy, doing different projects like that. So we've had some like really big ones that kind of just lined up really kind of perfectly. We did the weight room, and we did the new turf surface on all 3 facilities. So yeah, it's been like 100 miles an hour, but we feel like it's athletics. So like we sprint, and then we take a break, and then we sprint, and we take a break, and it's been fun to just kind of see the whole campus, all of our facilities just transform over the last 2 years. And I feel like we found a good spot, and I'm really proud of the identity that we've built visually.
A ball here, high pop up towards the outfield. Kennedy called off by Manning, who races in from left. He takes a couple steps to his left or right and makes the catch above his head. Big second out there for the home team as they try to keep tied at 2 here with Huntington, as we're joined by Associate Director of Intercollegiate Athletics and Senior Women's Administrator Natalie Young. The other big piece of, we mentioned all the new buildings going up. It's not a new building, but it got a facelift and got gutted. The Stillman Fieldhouse is picturesque over to our left.
Yeah, that was such a fun project, and we've talked about it quite a bit, not even in our spaces, but across campus, like the idea of taking something old and making it new and going through not building a whole new building, but using and stewarding what we have well. And so that whole building, we were able to do a facelift from front to back, side to side for the football team.
Up and down and around.
Up and down, all of it. Yeah, inside, outside, just in every angle you take. So, I mean, I think the bones of the building are still there, but there's not much else left. So, we have our baseball and softball team that utilize that space daily. Also, our lacrosse team is housed there, and then football. So we're talking about 50% of our student athletes that access that building every single day. So now it is something that they can be proud of. They can be excited to use. We have, obviously, the lacrosse is their locker room, football's their locker room, but also a lot of team space accessible on that second floor. And so anyone who's played college athletics knows that like those spaces, those team areas where you can spend time together are very, very important in building team chemistry and building those memories that last. So we're really proud of what we were able to do there, and we're very thankful for the money that came in to do that project. And when that one was kind of done, we said, okay, what's next? And we're not sure, but we're excited about the next one as well whenever that one comes up.
2 balls and a strike to Matt Wolf. 2 on, first and second with 2 away. Shift hard to the left here in the top of the 7th, of the game level at 2. Ross deals, and that's ball through. Actually dipped it into the strike zone. I apologize, Jack. It's 2-2. Trying to get the out here in the top of the 7th and send us to the stretch with an opportunity for Taylor to once again regain the lead. They tied it with 2 in the bottom of the 5th. They try to throw another 0 up here. 2-2 home. Liner towards deep right field. Knepp races back. He's got room to work. He stops, he catches, and makes the catch for the 3rd out. Natalie, thank you so much for the time. We'll let you go back to go cheering down the third base line.
Thanks so much, Rick.
That's Natalie Young. She's actually going to go sing the 7th inning stretch up now, so she'll have that coming up during the break. Natalie Young, the Associate Director of Intercollegiate Athletics. Natalie, you better hurry. They're playing the music. She's also the Senior Women's Administrator. Time to stretch in Upland. 2-2. Taylor and Huntington on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Fletcher Remick fouls off the first pitch he gets here in the bottom of the 7th. We are so glad to have Natalie Young join us here for about an inning or so. Here early to talk about all the happenings going on around Taylor Athletics. Also got to give the birthday shout out to the triplets. You'll see the 3 of them running around during basketball season, volleyball season. They might make an appearance here towards the end of baseball season as well. Colin comes back inside, backdoor breaker, and he puts Remick down 0-2. Taylor able to get out of the jam with 2 on and 2 outs in the top of the 7th, trying to get another run across the board here as they tied it at 2 in the bottom of the 5th thanks to 3 straight doubles, by the home team. And Remick had the third of those doubles. He squirts one up the middle here. Polina dives, couldn't make a backhand stop, bluffs the throw, and Remick's on, hustling up the first with the leadoff single. Great back-to-back games here for Remick, 2 hits in both. And the Trojans have the go-ahead run on here to lead off the bottom of the 7th as Taylor head coach Kyle Gould calls time, waves a whole bunch of folks in. Caruso and Remick come in to chat with the 20th-year head coach, the all-time winningest coach in program history. And now Knepp and David and first base coach Cam Screeton, the new father, comes in for a chat as well. Big spot here for TU as Colin kept Taylor at bay with just a couple of singles through the first 4 innings, and then those 3 doubles in a row to kickstart the bottom of the 5th. Has got Taylor on a different path here as Crabtree had 3 straight 1, 2, 3 innings between the 2nd and 4th to keep Taylor down by 1.
The catcher, Jacob Caruso.
Huntington got 1 more off of Crabtree in the top of the 5th. And now here's Caruso. Infield plays back with Wolf maybe a step in or 2 from third onto the infield green turf. Caruso a sac bunt his first time, throw over to first, and Remick lunges back in time on the pickoff attempt from Colin. Activity is stopped for the time being in the Huntington pen, but Adam Oxley now jogging to the right field corner. Caruso shows a bunt in the air, right side, and this will sail foul and catch the backstop netting. Everybody in purple and holding their breath, hoping that one wasn't caught for a tough look out number 1. Bottom of the 7th, Taylor 2, Huntington 2. Pick off again to first, no tag applied from Malott. Remick with a leadoff single up the middle on one that skittered its way forward. Polina made a wonderful stop behind second, almost picked it clean. If he did, he would have had a chance to throw the runner out at first. Caruso shows bunt, bouncer first base side. Colin picks, runs to first, underhands there, and Caruso out on a sacrifice bunt 1-3. But the go-ahead run in scoring position for the top of the Taylor order.
The right fielder, Cam Knepp.
A much easier sacrifice bunt there than when Caruso was up before that one. Remember, that was a time where Colin, Malott, and Coons almost all ran into each other in front of home plate. Malott was able to stab it and get Caruso out at first. 1 away for Cam Knepp. 1 for 3 here in the second game for Taylor in the Crossroads League Tournament. Curveball high and away from Colin, whose pitch count has been relatively low. That's number 93 from the Huntington starter here, 2 batters into the 7th. Remick a safe lead at second. He's the go-ahead run for TU. Knepp at the letters, watches one bend in for a strike away. Ground out, single, fielder's choice for Knepp. That fielder's choice hit to Polina at second base. He fired home and got Remick, who tried to score on the infield contact. That would have given Taylor a 3-2 lead. The Trojans try to take it here with Knepp and Remick trying to tag team one more time. Up and away from Knepp, 2-1. Still no activity in the Huntington pen. Activity is stopped in the Taylor pen. Left field corner Taylor, right field corner Huntington. Colin kicks and comes home. 2-1 that Knepp scoops out of play. And the count goes to 2-2. Colin gave Taylor one of only their 6 Crossroads League losses this season, as they won 30 games in Crossroads League play for the second straight season, tying the program record in both years, setting it last year and tying it this year. 2-2, Remick at second, 1 away. And Knepp stays alive, flying one out of play to left. Top of the order has been quiet today, just 2 hits between Knepp, David, and Glad. Flores, the shortstop, right behind Remick at second, clapping his hand in his mitt twice. The pitch home. Net right side over the head of Malott, and Remick gets the wave around from third. Coming up throwing is Rost. It is cut off, bouncing in, head first slide, and the Trojans lead 3-2 on an RBI single from Camden Knepp. That right side batter's box, the right-hand batter's box, popped up a little bit. Remember yesterday, Kennedy came flying in with a head first slide that picked up that front left corner. And just like yesterday, Taylor pitching coach Justin Barber comes out with the hand shovel and starts to scoop out some rubber pellets from the very left edge of the right-hand batter's box. 3-2 the Trojans lead, first time here this afternoon, as they try to end Huntington's season and send the Foresters 2-Q here on May 3rd.
The third baseman, Mason David.
Colin has been stellar today, per usual, but the Trojans have tapped him for 8 hits today and 3 runs, trying to add more here with Mason David. Sawed up the middle, Polina has to backpedal, takes the hop, flip to second for one, high throw, and David scoots in. They just got him by the thinnest of margins. The thinnest of thin margins. But the Trojans with an RBI single take a 3-2 lead as we head to the 8th inning on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, Rob Sisson, and Adam Sieglin, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Top of the 8th, Huntington trailing for the first time today. They're down 3-2 after the RBI single from Knepp. Shift to the left of the infield here for Malott. One hopper into the shift. Kennedy backpedals, turls, fires, tight play at first, overthrows Glad off to the chain link fence. Second fielding error for the Taylor middle infield today. And the leadoff man is on for the second straight inning off of an error. The Trojans had the shift on perfectly as Malott hit it right into the middle where Kennedy was, who now shouts into his mitt there at short. Snagged it, turned, and fired one high that was too tall for Glad to go up and get. As Malott on safely for the first time here this afternoon, and it brings up the catcher Sebastian Coons. He squares a bunt, first base side. Glad caught in no man's land. He fields. He won't be able to beat Coons there as it was halfway between he and Ross. And everybody's safe as Coons turns and shouts back at his dugout. And Taylor head coach Kyle Gould comes out and is not happy with the Taylor infield as he crosses the third base line. Just the fifth hit here this afternoon for the Foresters. So they've given Malott a leadoff single here instead of the throwing error on Kennedy. And they're 2 on with nobody away here in the top of the 8th. Again, back-to-back fielding errors. First from Frickle to start last inning. And then the throwing miscue here from Kennedy. Two guys that don't commit a lot of errors this year, or at least missteps defensively. And Huntington threatens here, trying to regain the lead with 2-1 and nobody away, trailing 3-2. Huntington with their backs against the wall after their 7-6 loss last night in 11 to St. Francis. Taylor won their game yesterday.
The right fielder, Dylan Ross.
The winner of this game plays tomorrow at 10 against the winner of our last game today, Indiana Wesleyan and St. Francis. The loser plays in another elimination game. That would be leading things off tomorrow at 11 a.m. against the loser of tonight's contest. 2 on, nobody out. Bunt shown and foul. Back here by Dylan Ross, the right fielder. Second full inning here for Jack Ross. Got out of last inning with 2 on and minimal outs. Ross to bunt. Up the third base side, David charges, fields, takes the easy way to first. Frickle comes into cover, 5-4 on the sac bunt. 1 away, but the runners move up to second and third. The tying and go-ahead runs here for the Forsters. Really good placement there by Ross, knowing that David will be playing a couple of steps back at third with Malat there at second base. And second and third.
Pinch hitting for Huntington, number 12, Cam Clarkson.
For another pinch hitter, Louisville native Cam Clarkson. Third different batter and the fourth different total player to populate the seventh hole here for HU. Shift on to the right. Clarkson, the lefty, watches Ross's fastball sail high. Clarkson, a .284 average, 29 hits, 13 for extra bases, including 6 homers and 20 runs batted in. Huntington down 1, top of the 8th, 1 away, second and third. Fouled back by the big lefty, Clarkson, 1-1. Transferred in from Marymount University, 6'2", 230-pound junior. Clarkson pinch hit yesterday and was 1 for 3, acting as the DH. Third one, popped up and out of play to the left, 1-2. Shift on to the right with Kennedy a couple of steps to his right, our left of second base with Clarkson the lefty up. Pinch hitter down 1-2 with 1 away here in the top of the 8th. And he swings and misses on an upstairs fastball from Jack Ross as Clarkson upset with himself. 2 away here in the 8th inning. Good pitch there from Ross. And another pinch hitter coming up here for the Forsters will be Ryan Wheeler, the senior out of Anderson.
The pinch hitter is number 24, Ryan Wheeler.
Two away, top of inning number 8. Taylor 3, Huntington 2, with Huntington batting. With Malat the tying run at third and the courtesy runner Richards the go-ahead run at second. Late swing and a miss on a breaker from Ross. Strike 1 here to the pinch hitting Wheeler. Wheeler was 1 for 1 in a pinch hit effort last night. Shift is still on, slightly to the right. But now Kennedy closer to second, but still to our left of it. Popped up towards shallow center field. Manning has called everybody away. Camps underneath, and he makes the catch. Ross is pumped, and he should be. To the bottom of the 8th as Ross doesn't blink. And for the second inning in a row, Huntington leaves 2 on the bases. Taylor ahead 3-2, off to the bottom of the 8th next, here on the Trojans Sports Network.
If you get sick, you can trust that we will take care of you. As a Magnet designated healthcare system, our expert team will create a personalized plan to get you back on your feet. Marion Health, great care from great people.
Leading off for Taylor, the first baseman, Sam Glad.
Jack Ross has not blinked here in the last 2 innings when Huntington has put men on the bases, one to try to break a 2-all tie in the 7th, and then was second and third and only one away. As we have a new left fielder out here for Huntington. As Sam Glad skies one out of play. The new left fielder is Parker Richards, who's been courtesy running for the catcher Coons. Glad sends one to left field. Richards charges in. 3 guys are there. Wolf called off at the last moment, and Richards makes the catch. Second or third time today, there's almost been an accident on the defensively for Huntington with 3 guys charging after it. They have avoided disaster each time as Glad pops out here to start off the frame.
The left fielder, Braden Manning.
Manning just made the last out in the top of the 8th to keep Taylor ahead 3-2. As Graham Collin, the stellar starter, still out there for the Forsters as he just passed the 100 pitch mark. Manning up the third base side, past the diving Wolf, and now Manning will round first. He wants a leadoff double. Throw coming in from Richards, won't be in time. For the second time today, the Trojans get a leadoff double as Manning gets his second hit of the ball game. Drew Loy in to run for him. And Luke Sutter will pinch hit for Brendan Frickel.
Pinch running at second base, number 25, Drew Loy.
And Taylor calls time once again as they bring everybody in
23, Luke Sutter.
on the left side of the infield. A big spot once again for the home team as they look to get some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th with only one away. And Luke Sutter, the lefty freshman here at the dish. He pinch hits for Brendan Frickel. Sacrifice bunt obviously in play here. But with Sutter, the lefty, a drag bunt of the first base line would be picture perfect and could send Loy coasting off over to third. One away on the Glad fly out. Manning just doubled. Loy runs for him at second. Sutter backs away and takes an inside strike. Sutter just 6 for 36 here in his freshman season, excuse me. But one of those 6 knocks has been a triple. Takes a belt-high fastball outside, 1-1. Activity is stalled in the Huntington pen, but it does look they have an arm ready if needed. 3-2 Taylor leads, batting in the 8th. Sutter swings through a curveball and comes up empty, 1-2. Good pitch there from Graham Collin, going off speed after a couple of fastballs. Loy runs for Manning at second, one away, bottom of the 8th. Taylor trying to build on their 3-2 lead with the pinch hitter Sutter. Collin home, fastballs away to the lefty freshman, 2-2. It'll be back-to-back lefties with Picchiotti waiting on deck. Taylor fell behind early for the second straight league tournament game, but they've roared back with 3 unanswered. And they lead by 1, 3-2 in the 8th, 2-2. Sutter to the right side, bounces on through, and here comes your insurance. Loy around third, he scores standing up. And the 7th hit of Luke Sutter's college career brings Winterholder Field to its feet. Four to 2 the Taylor lead, and now Frickel re-enters and runs for Loy at first. He will be welcomed back to the dugout with a hero's welcome.
Now batting, the center fielder, Luke.
And now activity has picked up in the Huntington pen in the right field corner. Their season on the line, now down by a deuce, as Taylor has wrapped out 10 hits off of the defending league pitcher of the year, Graham Collin. He came in allowing less than a hit per inning, and Taylor has knocked that average on its ear here today. Picchiotti with a hit off of Collin already. A ball low. His double in the 5th jump-started that 3 doubles in a row streak to start the 5th. Throw back to first, and Frickle lunges back and gets in by a fingernail. Winner of this game plays tomorrow at 2:30 against the winner of our final game tonight, Indiana Wesleyan, the 2-seed and 3-seed St. Francis. Picchiotti a late bunt. Got one that he liked, but it fouled right down on top of his toe. Strike 1. Picchiotti has had, as Taylor head coach Kyle Gould reminds him of the third base coach's box, Picchiotti has had 3 great at-bats today. The double in the 5th, he scorched one to deep center field or deep left field on the track his first time up, and then got hit by a pitch to extend the 6th. Here he bats with Frickle at first after the Sutter pinch hit RBI single. One gone, and Picchiotti hits one high towards right field, but not deep enough, as Rost runs in, makes the catch above his head, and they're 2 gone.
Back
110 pitches for Graham Collin, the 6'3 junior.
The shortstop, Ben Kennedy.
And now Kennedy looking for just the second Taylor hit with 2 outs here today. Remember, Huntington a loss here and their league tournament is over. Collin trying to limit the damage to just 1 here in the bottom of the 8th, with Kennedy having other plans. Pops up a curveball to the infield. Re-entering is Polina at second. He saunters over and makes the catch. Actually, make that not Polina. Coming over to make the grab there was Nolasco Baroa. So we go to the 9th. Taylor 3 outs away. Jack Ross coming out trying to slam the door. Taylor on top 4-2 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Huntington's season is 3 outs away from coming to a conclusion. Drew Loy stays in and plays left field for the Trojans after pinch running and scoring for Braden Manning, who he replaces. Jack Ross out here trying to pick up the second victory for the Trojans. He comes inside to Cade Flores for a strike. Ross will be the winning pitcher here today as he came in the top of the 7th. Game was tied at 2 at that point. Roll over right side, but foul. 2 strikes on Flores, as will be 9, 1, and 2 up here for the Foresters. They need a win here to keep their postseason hopes alive after losing last night in 11. A game that they were trailing by 2 heading to the top of the 9th with only a couple of outs to work with before St. Francis walked the bases full. Backdoor slider misses its mark. Ball 1 here to Flores, the shortstop. St. Francis able to get a bases loaded situation, and 2 walks brought home the winning run as they won 7-6. 0 for 3 day for Flores, 2 ground outs and a strikeout. He leads off the top of the 9th, down 1-2. Flare into left field. Playing back as Loy, the leadoff man is on here for Huntington as they trail by 2. Just the 5th hit, the 6th hit of the afternoon here for HU.
The center fielder, Bryce Deckman.
And here's Deckman up for the 5th time. Just his 2nd time against Ross. fifth-year senior, second-team All-American a year ago. Right-hander out of the stretch, home. Runner stays. Low, Caruso blocks. Flores thought about heading off to second. He stays at first. Ball one. Dalton Swinehart continues to stay warm in the Taylor pen in case his services are needed. Leadoff man is on. Deckman represents the tying run at the plate, with Huntington down 4-2. Backdoor pitch hit him on the left arm, and the tying runs are on here for the Foresters with the first two batters here in the top of the ninth. And a call to the pen will be Dalton Swinehart coming in to get Jack Ross. Flores the runner at second. Deckman the tying run for Gregory and Nolasco Baroa. Nobody out top of the ninth. We'll come back with Dalton Swinehart next on the Trojan Sports Network.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
If you get sick, you can trust that we will take care of you. As a Magnet-designated healthcare system, our expert team will create a personalized plan to get you back on your feet. Marion Health. Great care from great people.
Dalton Swinehart, 6'4" junior right-hander, comes in to relieve Ross. With the tying runs on the bases and nobody out for the heart of the order, or the second of the order, Gregory Nolasco Baroa, the now second baseman, here for the Foresters. First pitch strike on the belt, outside, 92 miles an hour from Swinehart. Dalton replaces Ross, who went 2 innings, allows 3 hits. No runs, but he is responsible for the 2 men on the bases here. Nobody out top of the ninth. Huntington's already lost a game in the league tournament. A loss here ends their season. Second one from Swinehart. Popped up, high in the air right side. Glad and Caruso there. Glad calls him off. He races. He makes the catch, slipping in front of the Huntington dugout. But he makes the grab, and there's one away with still runners at first and second, but a big first out on a great hustle play from Glad. Great communication as well, as the Taylor outfield shifts back here for the power-hitting Matt Wolf. Second on Huntington and RBI, coming in with 42. The top 2 RBI men back-to-back, Wolf and then Malott. One away, top of 9. Wolf goes after one and sends her foul. Wolf, the graduate student out of Fishers, Indiana, won a high school state title here for the Tigers. Swinehart looks back to second, the 0-1 home. Liner up the right side, foul. 0-2 here on Wolf, who's 0 for 3 today. Walked his first time up, 2 flyouts to Nepp and right, and he popped out to Glad in foul territory, the first baseman. Flores singled, Deckman hit. Ross exited, Swinehart has come in. The 0-2. Up high, good eye from Wolf. 4-2, the Huntington deficit as they bat here in the top of the 9th. They've been out hit today, 10-6. Swinehart back to second, 1-2 home. Liner up in the air towards right. Nepp races back. He's at the track, makes the catch for out number 2. Going back to first is Deckman. Flores moves to third, and Huntington's season is on life support. But there's no one Huntington would want up more than their RBI leader, their leader in batting, Jordan Malat, with the season on the line right here.
Now batting the first baseman, Jordan Malat.
Two up, 2 down for Swinehart. Runners to the corners for Malat with a 2-run hole for the 4-seed Foresters. Swinehart out of the stretch and home. A low one that Caruso backhands. 1 for 4 day for Malat. Single to the left side with the shift on to the left once again. Frickel almost pretty much right behind second base. Kennedy, the shortstop, between second and third. Low and away again as Swinehart wants to avoid the barrel of Malat's bat. Because if you don't, the ball can go to the moon. 11 homers for Malat, slugging .701. With over 100 total bases coming in here today. 2 outs, top of 9. First and third for Huntington, down 4-2. Swinehart deals the third. And just like the first 2 out of the zone, 3-0. Here with Sebastian Coons, the catcher, waiting on deck. A deep fly ball from Wolf was just snagged by Nepp for the second out. Even though there are 2 outs, you wouldn't be surprised to see Malat get the green light here, up 3-0. Swinehart deals in a low fastball, ball 4. Swinehart thought it was good enough for a strike. Now the bases are full for Huntington here in the top of 9. Down by a deuce for their catcher, Sebastian Coons. Loy backing up and left as the Trojans wave Nepp in slightly from right. Picchiotti at normal depth in center. Bases full of Foresters. Here in the top of the 9th, 2 away for Sebastian Coons, the catcher. Swinehart, liner up the left side, and it is fair. 1 run is home, and here comes the tying run from second, and Coons delivers a clutch 2 RBI single in the top of the 9th with 2 outs, and our game is tied at 4. So those last 2 runs, both charged to Ross. And now Swinehart tries to get the third out and take Taylor to the bottom of the 9th with an opportunity to walk it off. But they need that third out here. Malat the go-ahead run now. At first, Coons has to remain in to run since Parker is normal courtesy runners in the field playing left field. Inside strike here from Swinehart. We're tied at 4 here in the top of the 9th thanks to a 2-out, 2 RBI single that landed just on the left field foul line by Coons. 0-1. Bouncer left side. It bounces on through, and here comes Malat. Coming up throwing is Loy. It'll bounce in and not be in time. And back-to-back 2-out hits for Huntington have given the Foresters a 1-run lead as they lead 5-4. With their season on the line, a loss would end it here, but they now have the lead once again for the first time since the 5th.
Now batting number 12, Cam Clarkson.
8th batter of the inning is Cam Clarkson, the new DH. Still 2 on and 2 out. For the second game in a row as Clarkson swings through the first one from Swinehart. Huntington, with their backs against the wall, have answered in the top of the 9th. Last night against St. Francis, they tied the game at 6. Here they've taken the lead at 5-4 with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Roll over right side. Glad backhand stop off of his hand, and this one bounces into right field. Coons comes around to score and is now a 6-4 Huntington lead. Everything coming with 2 outs here in the 9th, and Huntington's season on the line, an out away from elimination. As scoring from second was Coons. That is 4 runs here in the top of the 9th. And the last 2 have come off of Swinehart. As Parker Richards bats for the first time, he's the new left fielder. He's the 9th batter of the inning. An E3 there, bouncer right side. He goes over Glad's head, and here comes another run. 5 with 2 outs in the top of the 9th, and Huntington has taken a 7-4 lead with the last 4 men all reaching after Swinehart had retired the first 2 and had Huntington's season on the brink. Still first and second as Caruso calls time to come out and chat with Swinehart. Taylor had roared back after falling behind 2-0, scoring 4 unanswered. A single from Flores and a hit by pitch to Deckman. Knocked Ross out of the game. And then Swinehart retired Baroa and Wolf. Malott walked to load the bases and a 2 RBI single as Coons jumped on the first one that he saw from Swinehart. And since then, it's been a Ross single, an error from Glad, and a single here from Richards to the left side. Shift was on. Kennedy backhand stop, throw to second. Not in time, and everybody's safe. A tight one as Kennedy was falling back at short. Threw off of his back foot, and they're loaded up. Second single of the inning here for Flores. It's a 7-4 Huntington lead. They've scored 4 with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. They keep their season alive. And now we go to the top end, Bryce Deckman.
Center fielder, Bryce Deckman.
They came in with just 5 hits in the inning. They have 5 hits here in the 9th. Huntington does. Deckman left side, foul. Strike here to Deckman. When we get to the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Remick, Caruso, and Knepp, 8, 9, and 1 for TU as Huntington has kept their season alive with a 5-run, 2-out rally here in the top of the 9th. Swinehart away for a ball here to Deckman, who was hit by a pitch that ended Ross's outing with nobody out as he was the second batter here in the top of the 9th. Bases full for Huntington. 2 away here in the 9th, trying to add to their now 7-4 lead. Fly ball to the gap in left center. It'll drop in, and 2 runs will come around to score as Loy throws it in from shallow left. Deckman a 2 RBI single, and what was once a 4-2 deficit is now a 9-4 Huntington lead. And the decision to keep the starter Graham Collin in through the 8th has paid off for the Foresters, as they now lead by 5 as Baroa will come up for the second time here in the frame. Greg Nolasco Baroa, the second baseman, watches a slider from Swinehart get dealt in for a strike. He was the first out for Swinehart when he came in out of the pen. Since then, the game has gotten turned on its ear thanks to that RBI single from Coons, 2 RBIs, and then the single from Ross that has given Huntington the lead, and now it has grown to 9-4. All with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Huntington losers last night to St. Francis. They were 3 outs away from their season coming to a close, and they have roared back to keep their season alive. 2 strikes and a pop-up sails over the backstop, and it stays at 0-2 here to Baroa. Baroa today 1 for 4. An RBI single back in the 5th. Hammers one towards center field. Picchiotti retreats back. He twists, he turns. He slides over and makes the catch to bring the 9th inning to a close. But 7 runs scored in the 9th for Huntington, all with 2 outs, have taken a 4-2 deficit and their season on the line to now leading 9-4. Taylor needs 5 runs to force extras and avoid their first loss of the Crossroads League Tournament. That's next on the Trojan Sports Network.
to be your nephew's #1 fan. Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
For Taylor,
The starter, Graham Collin, out to try to get the complete game here for Huntington, as the Trojans had Huntington on the ropes. Bases full, 2 outs, down 2. But Huntington scores 7 runs in the top of the 9th, all with 2 outs, and Collin trying to get his 7th complete game of his junior year. Remick, first pitch left side. Scooped up by the shortstop Flores across to first, and there's 1 gone. Taylor needs runs, and they need a bunch as they're down 9-4 now here in the bottom of the 9th. Trailing just for the 2nd time today after falling behind 2-0 out of the chute.
the catcher, Jacob Caruso.
Huntington had 5 hits with 2 outs. That were all of their hits in that inning as well. They only had 2 2-out hits coming in as Caruso takes a strike here, first one from Graham Collin. The 7 runs in the top of the 9th for Huntington are more than they scored in any game against Taylor this season. They scored 2 in game number 1, scored 3 in game 2 in their shutout win. Actually, I take that back. It's 1 off of the 8 they scored in their game 3, went 8-5. As Caruso fans through the 1-1, and the Trojans are shell-shocked here in the bottom of the 9th after Huntington answers here as they now lead 9-4. Back, it's still 1-2. No errors on the day for Huntington. They have been clean defensively. And they've been riding the right arm of Graham Collin. Caruso checks. Did he go around? No, says Tim Wesley. 2-2 with 1 away. Taylor down 5 here in the bottom of the 9th. For the 2nd straight game, Huntington has come to life in the 9th. They lost last night in extras, and they lead here 2 outs away from a monumental come-from-behind win to move on to tomorrow's winner's bracket game at 2:30. If this score holds, Taylor would play tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the first of what will be 2 elimination games on Saturday. 2-2, inside for ball 3. Caruso 0 for 1, 2 sacrifice bunts his last 2 times up. He pops up the payoff pitch, and it tails out of play. The first pitch out to Remick, and a first pitch out for Kennedy ended the 8th. And Huntington has flipped this thing on its ear with a 7-run, 2-out burst in the 9th. And Caruso draws a 1-out walk. And a courtesy runner, or a new courtesy runner, will come in for the catcher Caruso per NAI rules. And time is called as Mike Machma, the pitching coach, makes his 2nd trip out to the mound today for HU. It'll be Cade Colpine, the 5th-year senior, coming in to run for Caruso at first.
Number 7, Cade Colpine, courtesy runner at first base.
A couple guys warming up in the Huntington pen, but this looks to be Collins' game to take to the finish line, particularly with that 5-run cushion. He's thrown 120 pitches here this afternoon. Crabtree got the start for Taylor as Huntington scored their first run with no hits. They were no hit through the first 4 innings today. 2 walks. And then it was Baroa who stole 2nd, 3rd, and home to make that 1-0 lead. Huntington added to it in the top of the 5th. Taylor tied it at 2 in the bottom of that inning. The Trojans would add single runs in the 7th and the 8th. And they had 2 outs with 2 on. With Swinehart retiring the first 2 men he faced, he walked Malott. And then that's when the thing started to tail away for the Trojans and go into the favor of Huntington. Runner takes off in Colpine. Coons doesn't care. With Taylor down by 5, runner in scoring position, a strike here to Knepp. 2 for 4 day for Knepp. High in the air to left field and out of play. 0-2 on the Taylor right fielder. And an RBI single in the 7th to give Taylor their lead at 3-4. They added to it in the 8th. And then the 9th inning happened. Still life for the Trojans with 1 away here in the bottom of that 9th inning. Knepp, a dribbler up the right side, just squirts foul, but it's blown dead at the plate as it went off the toe of Knepp. We've already had one team eliminated. That was Mount Vernon Nazarene, the 5 seed, losing to Marion in our first game of the day. Huntington was an out away from following suit with the Cougars, but their 7 runs with 2 away have breathed new life into the 2024 year for the 4 seed. 2 strikes on Knepp. Already with 1 out on the board after Remick grounded out here in the first pitch of the 9th. Liner up the middle. Colpine goes back. He's got to go to third. He gets the wave around, trying to challenge the arm. Here comes Flores. He'll just eat it. And the Trojans get run number 5. An RBI single for Knepp. He's got 3 hits on the day. Now it's Mason David's turn. Taylor 4 for 16 today with runners on base.
Mason David.
They've done much better when they can get him in a scoring position, going 4 for 6. David 0 for 4 today. Needs to change that here for the home team. Takes a first pitch strike down the middle. Two pop outs, a double play, and another ground ball. David's 4 turns at the plate today. Hard hit towards center field, drops in, and now Knepp will go from first to third. First and third for the power portion of the order with 1 out in the 9th with Taylor down by 4. And here comes second-year pitching coach Thad Frame. Could this be the end of the line for Collin? And it is. Last year's pitcher of the year, fantastic today. Cannot get his 7th complete game. 2 on, 1 away, bottom of the 9th. Taylor down by 4. New arm coming in for the Foresters after this break on the Trojan Sports Network. New man in for Huntington is the freshman right-hander R.J. Anglin that took the loss last night. He threw 9 pitches, walked 2 men, and was issued the loss last evening. Last night in 11 to St. Francis. Taylor down 1 out in the 9th, down by 4. Glad hit for the moon. Foul tips in the glove of Coons. Anglin on the year, a 3.32 ERA. It's just his second relief appearance of the year. Both come in the last 24 hours. 1-1 to Glad. Sam 1 for 4 today. A walk and back-to-back singles have Taylor to within 4 after watching Huntington score 7 runs with 2 outs in the top half of the 9th. Ball 2 to Glad with Manning waiting on deck. If Glad can get on, he would represent, or Manning would then represent the tying run. Glad ahead 2-1 against Anglin. The righty on the first base side of the rubber. Inside at the knees, in and out of the glove of Coons, but it's good enough for strike 2. A heavyweight fight here in the 7th game of the Crossroads League Tournament. Wind is non-existent here on this cloudy Friday afternoon. It's slowly becoming evening. 2-2 Anglin with 1 away. Glad golfs out of play to our left. A single for Glad in the 6th, his only base hit here of the afternoon. Knepp at 3rd, David back at 1st. Trojans down 4 in the bottom of the 9th, trying to avoid their first loss of the league tournament. Glad in on the hands, and he's got it to ball 3. Full count. And now the folks wearing purple start to come to life. Remember, Anglin threw 9 pitches and walked 2 guys to lose the game an evening ago. Payoff to Glad inside ball 4. He has faced 3 men in the league tournament, and he's walked all of them. Bases loaded for Braden Manning. Manning, a slow walk to the plate. Knepp, David, Glad. Runners 3rd to 1st, down 4 for their RBI leader, Braden Manning. He's 2 for 4 today. First one to the left side. Flores scoops, throw to second for 1. They get the force out there, 2 outs. Fielder's choice, Knepp scores, Taylor down by 3. So Frickle, the last man standing here for the home team. So Manning cuts the deficit to 3. And now Taylor needs to take a page out of Huntington's book. They had to have just 1 hit with 2 outs. Huntington had just 2 before the top of the 9th happened. Frickle looks at a strike on the outside corner. Frickle, a rough day at the plate, 0 for 3. Taylor fans not happy with that strike call there on the first one to Frickle. Second one, low, good cover by Coons as he slides to the right. 1-1 for Frickle. He represents the tying run here. Bottom of the 9th, Taylor down 9-6. Huntington scored 7 runs in the top of the 9th, all with 2 outs to keep their season alive. Third one to Frickle. Goes around on a fastball, and the Trojans are down to their last strike, trying to avoid their first loss of the league tournament. Anglin trying to get the save here after walking 2 men on 9 pitches to lose the game last night for Huntington and putting him in a must-win situation here against the top seed Trojans. A ball and 2 strikes. Frickle high in the air to center. Going back is Deckman. Now he comes forward, a can of corn, and he makes the catch. And Huntington, with their season on the line, scores 7 runs in the top of the 9th to flip a 4-2 deficit. They win today by a final of 9-6. Huntington moves on. They play tomorrow at 2:30. The Trojans will play tomorrow at 11 a.m. in our first elimination game of day 4. We'll be back with the Ivanhoe's post-game show next here on the Trojans Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland. It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, Rob Sisson, and Adam Sieglin, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Welcome back to Winter Holder Field. This is the Ivanhoe's post-game show here on the Trojan Sports Network. Tough one for Taylor today. They had Huntington an out away from ending their season. The Foresters come through with 5 2-out hits, scoring 7 runs, and they win today, flipping a 4-2 deficit and winning 9-6. We're joined by the Taylor head coach, Kyle Gould. Obviously not the best start to the night. Swinehart comes in, gets those first 2 outs, and then it seemed like once an opening was given to Huntington, they kicked the door down.
Well, I probably would disagree that there was 5 hits. I think there's probably, they have us for 2 errors. We made 4 errors, and even if we call them hits, they're errors. And there's plays where, like, if we make a routine play at first base, like they don't get 7 runs if we handle a bunt earlier. And by my count, we gave them 12 extra at bats. And you start out with three walks and 4 stolen bases in the first inning, and even when they don't all score, like we just every hitter got 1 extra bat and 2 guys got. Or 4 or 5 guys got 2 extra bats. You give a team that many extra bats, like things are going to start happening. And it's the way we played yesterday. And if we're going to play that way, that's not how we went 37-13. So I'd hoped we'd play a little bit, just a little bit better defensively today, and it just didn't happen. And you give a team that many extra bats. That's what's going to happen. But I look up there at one point and I thought, well, yesterday we gave up 4 hits, and today we had given up 3, and and our opponents had like 12 runs. I was like, that doesn't work. It's just not good baseball.
What leads to that? Is it just the extra freebies or things like that? Because again, like you mentioned, the math doesn't work with that.
No, it doesn't. I mean, we made very easily 4 errors today, and it's like you just can't. I mean, we have multiple innings where it's first and second, nobody out, and the ball hasn't left the infield, and it starts on the mound with walks and then hit by pitch. And even when you get out of it, it's great to get out of it, but you're still giving guys extra bats. And every time a guy has a bat in his hand, he's dangerous, and you give him that many extra chances, like something is going to happen. There's a blue pit that's going to happen, or something is going to happen, and you just can't give teams extra outs. And I'll give their pitcher a ton of credit today. I don't think it was his A+ stuff, but man, he stayed out there for 8 1/3.
Over 120.
Yeah, and he gave us 2 freebies, and one of them when he was clearly gassed at the end, but just trying to help his team get through the tournament. So nothing. I mean, so much credit. I mean, that kid, what a bulldog, and what a great performance. And my guess is he wasn't planning to go back out there, and then they scored. They get up 5 instead of 2, and he's like, no, I'll go do it. He hits a guy, but he gave us 1 through 8 innings. 1 freebie, and it's like we're giving them double digits, and that is like difference in the game. And credit to Huntington for cashing in, and they just kind of kept going there and putting those runs on the board in the 9th, like you said, with their season on the line. And so a lot of credit to them. But that's what good teams do. When you give them extra outs and extra bats, they're going to take advantage of it, and that's what Huntington did. And when you combine that with the type of pitcher they had on the mound, they're going to win. And so credit to them, and we got figured out how to play baseball a little bit better, or we're going to struggle to win another game.
That comes up tomorrow morning. What is the message to the guys tomorrow, getting to play in that first game tomorrow and trying to keep now your season on the line and alive?
Well, I mean, I think it's just like you want to keep playing, or do you want to do you want to keep playing, or do you want to just get ready for next week? I don't know. I just want to see us play better baseball, and I say that all the time throughout the year. There's times we win, and I'm like, I'm glad we won, but I just want to see us play good baseball, and that's not the way we've played. And so I'd like to see us play a little bit better tomorrow, and give ourselves a better chance, regardless of the opponent or the score or the outcome or what we're doing. And we'll see if we can do it. But yeah, we got to get back to playing good baseball, because that's going to be a struggle. So again, I thought our hitters competed in the box pretty good against a really good arm, and the ball wasn't flying out of here today by any means, and both teams hit some balls hard that wound up in the last 10 feet of the outfield. But I thought our hitters hung in. I don't think we punched out a lot against, again, a really good arm. Probably not more than 3 or 4. 4, yeah, probably. And so I thought competed well, and early he was just kind of hammering that thing away, and then we made some adjustments. We get a couple opposite field doubles, or Ben had that big one, and then Fletcher, and then we're moving along a little bit. So it wasn't like our worst offensive performance. We just got to clean it up on the other side of the ball.
Kyle, thanks for the time. Good luck tomorrow.
Appreciate it, Rick.
That is the head coach of the Trojans, Kyle Gould, joining us here on the Ivanhoe's postgame show. His team drops their first game of the Crossroads League Tournament. Huntington moves on. They will play tomorrow, still with their season on the line, needing another win and needing to win the Crossroads League Tournament title to keep their postseason hopes alive. The Trojans fall to 38-14 this season. Huntington moves to 30-20, thanks to 7 runs in the top of the 9th, all with 2 outs to flip a 4-2 deficit into a 9-6 victory. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 11 a.m. as Taylor plays the first game of Day 4 of the Crossroads League Tournament. Final game coming up next, another winner's bracket game. It'll be Indiana Wesleyan and St. Francis. Iowa, the 2 seed, St. Francis, the 4 seed. The winner moves on to moves in the winner's bracket tomorrow. The loser will have their first loss of Crossroads League Tournament action. This has been a presentation of the Crossroads League Baseball Tournament on the Trojan Sports Network. Until we talk to you tomorrow morning, we say goodnight from Upland, Indiana. proceeding has been a presentation of the Trojan Sports Network.